So good day everyone, I am Zairil Pisan Mabilog and together with me is Mr. Milo Mapili and Miss Marian P. Mortido. So today we will be tackling Module 23, which is the Classroom Climate and Social Emotional Learning or SEL. So first, before we proceed to our lesson, let us first know what is the objective. So in this module, challenge yourself to attain the following learning outcomes. So first is in this lesson, you will be able to describe the classroom climate that is conducive for learning by the use of simile and metaphor. Next is you are able to create a conducive classroom climate in a simulation. And the next one is you will be able to explain the five competencies of social and emotional learning. So first, what is classroom climate? So classroom climate is a byproduct of the social interactions between and among the teachers and students. So overall, it is an overall psychological atmosphere of the classroom. So I know that we are in this situation because we are students and we have our teacher, Miss Jody, and other teachers out there. And we have this classroom climate where we are doing the act. We are in that specific situations where we are learning and where the teachers are teaching us some or giving us or sharing some new informations in order for us to learn. And that's the classroom climate, which where we share, which where we communicate with each other, and the everyday actions or the everyday activities within that classroom. So it is the classroom climate. So again, classroom climate it happens or it is the interactions between the teachers and the students. Just like for example, the teacher is teaching and the students are listening, and whenever the students has this confusion or questions about the lessons, the students will ask some questions to the teacher, and there the interaction or the socialization or the communication between the two, the teacher and the students started. And those are the activities. And it is not just that alone, but as well as the group activities, the students to students, teachers to teachers, and that's what we call classroom climate. So students experience of the classroom as not just an intellectual space, but also as a social, emotional, and physical environment. Classrooms that subtly or indirectly exclude certain groups of students tend to be common from the students' perspectives. Students have a particularly negative reaction to instructors who fail to acknowledge consequential local and national events. It is according to Huston and Di Pietro 2007. So it's stated here that um, the classroom or the classroom climate or the activities that happens inside the classroom is not just only about the intellectual space, but it also mentioned about the social, emotional, and physical environment, just like what I've mentioned earlier, that within that classroom there are a lot of activities like groupings and etc., socializing with others, sharing with our emotions, and agreeing and disagreeing to things that we have understood or we have listened to. So again, classroom climate is an overall atmosphere or psychological atmosphere of the classroom. So next is we have so classroom climate has four aspects, and we have intellectual, social, and emotional, as well as the physical. So first, let us discuss what is intellectual aspect of classroom climate. So intellectual, the lesson develops students' disciplinary knowledge, skills, and attitudes. So it is about the character or the strength of a student to think, to critically think or logically think of things and how he will respond to things. So it is the use of our mind and based on the knowledge, the skills, or the expertise and the attitudes of the students. and performance expectations are explicit. So, of course, in intellectual, it is where in school it is where we are. Um, it is not just, I mean, the competition. It is not a competition, but it is where we learn. Uh, Somehow, it kinda, but it is not a competition. It is just where the students are able or asked to give their best, asked to show off what they have, what they've got, and what they have learned, their skills, their attitudes, their knowledge towards the lesson, towards the activity that the school has, that the classroom has. So students regularly practice disciplinary skills. Yeah, the way they understand things. They must not do some quick reactions, but they must reflect first to themselves, which will demand some demand some overviewing things. And next is tasks are challenging, important, and authentic. So in this aspect, it is where the students are given some task or some problem or some just like solving problems. The students are given some questions to be answered, which where they will be challenged, and there they are able to think beyond the box, which where they are able to explore things, which where they can conclude something, or they are able to discover something because of the challenge that is given to them. And it is also important that as the students learns, they are able to enjoy it. I mean, they can there will be a great meaning of their learning, and yeah, the authenticity of their learning, or the moment that they have when they learn. So next is students receive prompt and specific feedback. So this happens all the time, but somehow the students are shy, and that's why it will. We will be discussing social later on, which where the teacher uh, will be having some will be resourceful of his or her ways. So the students receive prompt and specific feedback in intellectual, of course, just like in learning. The teachers are just like, for example, the teachers are teaching some new lessons, and then there are some or part of it that the students didn't get, and then the students will start the confusion or start to ask some questions, and there the teacher will the students will give some feedback about the lesson, which where he or she will give some questions, or he or she will share about his or her understanding, and then the teacher will answer that. And intellectually, the teacher will explain it and give some example, which where the students will really get or understand the lesson. And it is sharing of feedbacks. So it is the intellectual aspect. Next is social. So from the word social, it is where we socialize, or where we connect to other people. To since we are talking about classroom climate, connecting to our teacher, connecting to other students, connecting to our classmates. So behavior expectation are explicit. So behavior expectation. So we are expecting that we are expecting to experience a lot of different behaviors from our classmates, from our teachers. Of course, we are emotionally we have this emotion, which where we sometimes we are overwhelmed about the situations, we are overwhelmed about the lessons, the discussions, and sometimes uh, we are dragged by our we are just dragged by our emotions, and there we can act something, we can act out the things that we have felt. And yeah, so behaviors are expected to be explicit in socializing, because there are a different approach when we socialize. So depending on the situation. Next is students have opportunities to work together. So we socialize just like in our classroom. I know that it happens all the time. It must happen all the time. It should be present in every classroom. The groupings, because it is where we share information. It is somehow part of our learning, where the our classmates can share what he or she knows already, and then it will be a new lesson for us. It will be a gain for us. So we are able to connect with our group mates. We are able to construct better knowledge, or better understanding, or better what should I call for that? Sorry. It is where we can come up something big, or come up something great. See, so it is we socializing is an opportunity to work together. So team building, it can also build our leadership, or it can build our relationship with each other. So the instructor ensures equitable and respectful students interaction. So in socializing, it is not just only about the students, but also part of it is the teacher, because of course the classroom can never be complete without the teacher, and the classroom can never be complete without the students. So it is both, or part of them, or both of them should work together, and the teacher or the instructor must ensure the equitable, or the equality of the classroom. The respect should be there, of course, because when we socialize, again, just like what I've mentioned earlier, we are too emotional. We are somehow sometimes so emotional about things, and then sometimes we don't know that we have hurt someone inside, but outside, but in his or her outside appearance, he or she just is just showing some joyful act, but we never know what he or she is feeling inside. Maybe he or she is wounded inside. So respect must be uh, respect must be uh, considered in every classroom. So yeah, so there will be equal treatment from our instructor, and yeah, so in socializing. And next is the instructor is approachable, resourceful, and proactive. So again, the instructor must be approachable, of course, because we don't need, or we must never create some atmosphere where the students can never approach to the teacher. Of course, we must have this relationship with them. It is what I always mention, that the teacher must have some connection with their students, in with its limit, of course, because we just never be so close to them, because it can it might, or it can cause something that we don't like. So of course the teacher must be approachable, because I know that the students can never just gain all the informations that we tell them, or that we have shared to them. They can never acquire them all at once. Of course there will be questions, and there will be confusions, and then that's why that we future teacher must be approachable, so that the students can ask us questions. Maybe he or she is shy to ask questions in times, or at the moment where the class is still going. See, so we must be approachable and resourceful. Of course, our strategy, the way we connect to them, the way we socialize with our students, we must be resourceful, because not every student is the same. There is different, sorry for that, there is different character of a student, there is a different attitude of every student, and different background. That's why we must be careful in socializing with them, in connecting with them, so that their respect must always be present there, of course. And proactive, of course, it is the important thing that a teacher uh, must acquire, being proactive. And then the next one is the instructor solicits and responds to students' feedback. It is also important, whatever the feedback of the student is, we must solicit to it. We must give, or we must answer their questions, their feedbacks. We must what should I call for that? We must sorry, I forgot the term, but we must kanang sorry, we must feel, just like for example, we must feel in the blank. What I mean is that whatever they don't understand or whatever their confusion is, we must feel them so that they will understand it, or so that they will get what they want to know, or what is their concern is. So it is very important, and also it is important to be approachable again, because yeah, and then it is also our job as future teachers to really listen, or to really listen to their feedbacks or to their concerns, and answer them, or give some specific examples that will help them understand it. Yeah, so next aspect of the classroom climate is emotional. So the atmosphere is non competitive and motivating, and productively addresses stereotypes. So emotional, and students' backgrounds and identities are valued. Students are allowed to make low risk mistakes. So in this aspect, inside the classroom, of course, we all have the emotion to feel. We all have this ability to feel things, to be happy, to be sad, to get mad, to get angry, and it is we don't have the control of someone's emotion, and that's why we must be very careful, even in their identities, to who or what she is, to what his or her background is, to what she values, to what he values. We must respect them. It is important to understand things. It is important to really reflect first to yourself before doing the act to your classmates. So yeah, it is really present in a classroom, the emotion, and sometimes the students will have some quarrel together with the other students, and uh, I have observed sometimes, or in my in every past of stages which where I have been, some other students are mad with their teachers, and the teachers are mad with their students, and there it will cause something negative. Just like for example, other teachers, I know I have experienced this in my senior high years, which where the teacher is mad at me, and then yeah, he she I yeah he she because he's you know and he gave me less grade that I don't deserve, and yeah, but it's fair square, because still fair square for me, because I don't that time I didn't mind about grades, so I just do my best and then show off the things that I can. And then, of course, I get sad, and I just didn't tell my parents about it. But if other students will experience those things, they might get stressed. Again, we are emotionally bound of things, and we have the ability to feel things, and sometimes it can cause us to be depressed, or maybe it is just the thing that we can never control of a person. Sorry. Next aspect is a physical aspect of classroom climate. Students can interact with and see each other. Students have equal access to physical and online material. The next one is the classroom is free from distraction. So physical, it is where, just like for example, we are having now face to face, which where we can see each other, we can socialize each other, we can share our emotions, we can share our knowledge physically, just like with just like us, together with our teachers, Miss Judy and other teachers. They are teaching us, and we are listening inside the classroom, not online. And then, yeah, we can do the act at the moment, and I guess that's all. Again, 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 classroom climate is an overall psychological atmosphere of a classroom. So, mentioning the part of the classroom, there must be intelligent ones, physically, emotionally, mentally, or whatever, in what aspect he or she is brilliant. And then socializing with other people, it is present within the classroom. Of course, we must, or we need to socialize with other students in order for us to really grow, and to socialize with our teacher, of course, in learning. And then emotionally, we can learn things, we are able to share it. And yeah, and physically, we are active, we are performing, we are participating. So classroom climate is an overall psychological atmosphere of the classroom. And I guess that's all for my report, and Miss Marian P. Mordido will do the next or the next part of this lesson. So thank you, and God bless.